Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Parody Podcast show hosted by me, Rachel Evans, aka The Human Barbie. And in today's episode, we're going to look at how to model and poses and tips if you are doing family photo shoots or you're a model or an actor. There's different ways that you can pose to enhance the way you look. Now, a lot of people who are familiar with my journey will know that I've been a model all my life. And I've been a bikini athlete. I was a cross and track athlete in high school. So for me, I was always in front of the camera. Even when I was a teenager, I was in the local newspaper. And then obviously I've been in the national and international global press as a model and actor and as the Human Barbie. So I'm very well versed in how to pose, but there's always something you can learn and tweak, because if you think of it, how many camera angles are there? If you look at a 360, there's so many little fine tuning things you can do to your poses. So over the years, I've learned what works for my body shape and my face and angles and lighting. And then obviously makeup and hair and outfits. Because for example, today I've got this fairy pink coat on and it's got a kind of soft, non-sharp edge effect on my body. So even though I'm sitting up straight, you can't see my posture. And posture is everything. And I'll tell you more about that as well. So as an actor, they teach you, I'm a trained actress. So as an actor, you do Alexander technique training and they teach you posture, shoulders back, breathe in a little bit and stand up straight. Now, as a model, there's something called the giraffe pose where you get rid of your double chin, you stick your neck out, and it depends on the camera angle. So today I've purposely put my camera angle higher so it's looking slightly down rather than straight on. And that means so I can look up rather than looking straight at you. The first tip that I want to give you is know what you want to achieve on a photo shoot. So say you're having a Christmas photo shoot or a birthday or a prom photo shoot, you want it to look polished and you want the lighting to be a certain way. When I'm doing fitness shots, the camera and the lighting is a different kind of setup to when I'm doing beauty, head and shoulders. So today I've lit my studio for head and shoulders. I've got lights, studio soft boxes, left and right. I don't have the overhead third camera. I don't have a hair light. I just want the face lit. And I want it to be a kind of little bit darker in the background. So I don't have any lights on to light up the background. And I'm using Riverside Studio to edit all of this. So what I want to share with you and give you value today in this video is how to make the best of your body shape. I won't go into too much detail about body shapes because that's not the point. The point is that anyone can do this, any age, any body shape. But the main thing is this. Obviously, as a model, I'm very naturally pale. And I think it was 2005, I was on the cover of the Daily Mirror and it was called Slim and We Hate It. So in that photo, I didn't do fake tan then. I was very alabaster skin pale and it was kind of like a look that was in right then. And so, you know what? I think that if you're tanning, you have to get your tan right, because when the lights are in the studio or if I'm competing on stage, our tan is super, super dark. So in real life, it can look scary. But when you're in the studio on camera, the lights bleach out your skin. So that's why we go very dark. Now, if you look at me as a bikini athlete, my tan's super dark. Takes like a week to get it off. And that's because the studio lights are incredibly light. And then on stage, I look very light tanned. But in real life, it's a super dark tan. So again, lighting is everything. Now, I'm quite geeky. So I study studio programming, setups, studio setups, model poses. And I want to share this with you so that you can be confident in front of the camera. So the first tip that I want to give you today is know what you want to achieve for the photo. So say you've got a photo shoot, a family photo shoot. You want everyone smart. You want clean lines. You know, if someone's wearing a hoodie, it's not going to look the same as wearing a sharp edged suit. Or if you've got this Skims top, it's soft. If you've got tight clothes on that don't have a structure, it will round your shoulders. So things like that, you want to wear kind of similar clothes if you're a family as well. So say you say come smart casual. If your kids have got a hoodie on, it's going to look fun, but it might ruin the shot. So little things like that. You want to have a dress code for your photo shoot if you're doing family photo shoots. And you also want to be smiley and happy. Or even say you've got a moody teenager and they're rocking that look. That's great, but you don't want one person to ruin it because of a bad facial expression. So family photo shoots, be happy, get everyone in the mood. You know, you might need, if you've got kids, you don't want them crying, obviously. So you might have to take things to sweeten it a bit. to sweeten the pill, as they say, make everyone look fresh and relaxed and happy. What you don't want is, obviously, family photo shoots. If you're not a professional actor or model, you don't want that frightened rabbit look. So what the photographer will do is, and this is where family photo shoots are completely different to when you're an experienced professional like myself, the photographer may have an assistant, or the photographer will do kind of like chatting, and then they'll set up the camera and actually capture the kids or you, the family, when you're not expecting it. So it's okay, ready, say cheese. They don't do that anymore because they want animation, they want relaxed facial expressions and things like that. So that's family photo shoots. Relax, kind of wear structured outfits because sharp lines are better than soft lines. And you might want to wear a nice jacket with a t-shirt underneath and a pair of jeans and nice heels if you're a woman. The guy can wear a suit, or he can wear a t-shirt with a jacket. And again, jeans and nice shoes. And then the kids can also look smart. But bearing in mind, kids don't wear jackets. What do they normally wear? They wear hoodies. So what you want to do is maybe get them something without any dots on it, without any graphics. Or if it's a t-shirt, that might look good actually, but it might kind of dominate the photo. So you want clean lines, clean, plain kind of clothes if you can, color block, and then color coordination. Because when the photographer's doing the pictures, say your girl likes pink and the guy and the boy likes black and he's gothic, that's going to look great on camera. But again, you want to have a balance. Do you know what I mean? So the photographer also will position you, mum, dad in the middle, kids at the side, or mum and dad in the middle and the kids below them because of the height. So again, height variations can help a picture pop, or it can ruin a picture. So the tallest people usually go to the back, obviously, or they might kneel or sit in front. So perspective is everything. Okay, so that's family photo shoots. So if you're an actor or a model, and if you're a fashion model, I'm talking about like models who do headshots for commercials and TV, or if you are an actor doing a headshot, when you go for headshots, they don't like too much makeup unless you're in character. So as the human Barbie, I don't need to dumb down my makeup because that's not the role. That's not the role of who I am, and it's not who I want to play in real life or on TV or in the press. I will always do the right makeup. Like today, I've got my eyeliner on and I've got pink Candy Yum Yum MAC lipstick on. And so what I'll do is I'll always keep this look because it's my look. Like, you know, Dolly Parton, she doesn't change her look. It's Dolly Parton. You recognize her on the street, on the stage, in TV and film. So when you go on photo shoots for headshots, they might have a makeup artist. And the reason why I'm mentioning that I keep my look like Barbie is because that's who I am and that's who I'm paid to do. If you do photo shoots, the makeup artist might say, what look do you want to go for? Or they might say, the studio lighting requires this makeup. So the men, if you're a man doing a headshot, they might powder your shiny bits, your T-zone, which is the T-zone powder is important for the men. Some men who are performers wear eyeliner. Obviously, Elvis used to wear a bit of eyeliner or a bit of bronzer or fake tan. I don't think they did fake tan into Elvis's day. I think it was just makeup. So I remember Joan Collins, who was a veteran English actress, and she's amazing. She used to use black makeup to contour her cheekbones and her nose and her chin, you know, that kind of thing. So contouring's been around for years, guys. Sorry to all of the young Instagrammers, influencers, but guys, we did it first. Okay, so if you're a woman, obviously, and you go for a natural look and you don't wear makeup, because not every woman can suit makeup. Models can carry makeup because our faces are a blank canvas, and we are a blank canvas, you know. But there are ways that you can look natural with a ton of makeup. So did you know the natural makeup look takes about 1 to 2 hours to perfect because it's all about blending, but the actual putting on color makeup, like what I've gotten today, can take 10 to 15 minutes. Why is that? So it's not about how much you wear. I don't wear a lot of makeup. I just know the colors that help me look like I'm fully made up. If you want to do natural, believe me, it's a lot harder. So when I was on this morning, I did a base of concealer. I had my lashes on, and the makeup artist said, how would you like to look? I said, make me look Margot Robbie Barbie. You know, it's more natural. So I had hardly any powder. I had shiny, glossy, glassy skin, which I loved, and very little lipstick. But a bit of color on my cheeks, and I had a lot of concealer because I've got naturally dark circles. So for me, the makeup artist in the studio will always know what my look is. Obviously, I was wearing the Margot Robbie Barbie rollerblade outfit from the Barbie movie, so I had to kind of keep it that way. And like I said, I'm always Barbie on photo shoots and on TV and in film or on stage or when I'm at parties. But if you are a model or an actor doing headshots, you really have to nail the makeup, because if you get great pictures and then you look at the makeup and think that doesn't look like me, it's going to ruin it, because you're marketing yourself on a headshot to agencies or to casting directors and agents and PR people, and you really need to look like the character of who you are or who you want to portray. So say that all of the lookalikes we are in character when we present ourselves. Okay, so that's actors doing headshots or models doing headshots. Now, if you are a character model, and for example, it can be any look, any body shape. Did you know that there's guys who have got missing teeth? They get a lot of work. They might be in music videos playing the role of somebody down and out, or they might play an actor in a movie who's got a hard look or a scary look. So there are actors out there who get a ton of work and they're not your classic looking model. So they do character modeling. And again, that's them in character. The third thing I want to come to is if you're a fashion model, obviously it's different, isn't it, when you do the catwalk or you're doing fashion pictures. But if you want to send your pictures to an agency, you do like a white vest and jeans. Obviously look straight onto camera, feet together, stand up straight and hands by your side and look and have like a very vacant pose. No smiling, no cheesy grin. It's not like Victoria's Secret walking down the catwalk where they've got to look like girl next door. So the fashion models always have a plainer look. And actually, did you know fashion models have got a very plain looking face without any makeup? And then when they're made up, they are like stunningly gorgeous because they are a blank canvas. The more blank canvas your bone structure and your face is, the more model gigs you can get to look a certain way. Now, of course, there's typecast, like I'm typecast, or say Kylie Jenner or Kendall Jenner is typecast. But a lot of models who are typecast will look a certain way and they will nail it. So say Naomi Campbell, Christy Turlington, Claudia Schiffer, they had that look that Chanel loved. It's the glamour, big hair, bouncy hair, fantastic, fabulous, glamorous look. But then when Kate Moss came, it was more like the tomboy, kind of like hardly any curves, and that was her look. And she had a very stern look on her face when she did pictures. You never saw her teeth hardly, and she never hardly talked too much, because when people are animated, they lose that model look that they've got. That might be another subject in another video. But for example, when I do my doll poses, I have the vacant look and I look like a Barbie doll head to toe because I've nailed the poses. But as soon as my voice is heard, you can hear my maturity. As soon as you look at my facial expressions when I smile, it's more of animated Barbie, like in the Barbie movie. And years ago, until the Barbie movie came out, I did the doll poses to look like Barbie as a Barbie doll. Life in Plastic is fantastic. And then when the Barbie movie came out, I did these kind of poses. Now I'm going to hold up a magazine interview that I did last year. This pose is me wearing the black and white chevron swimsuit. I'm lying on my bed with my in my home and doing the Margot Robbie Barbie pose. So again, triangles. That's what I'm going to come on to next. And then in another picture, I'm holding weights. I had darker hair there, didn't like it. And then you can see my lingerie picture there. So Barbie can look at any way, as long as you look Barbie-like. So that's how I present myself. Barbie can wear anything as long as you've got the body shape and the face of a Barbie doll. And now it's a real life Barbie as played by Margot Robbie. So I can be a little bit more kind of real, if that makes sense, and not have to do the doll poses. So I just presented my hands to camera for the listeners and showed you the doll pose. Okay, so I think I'm on 4 or 5. I won't number them in case I'm out of sync. But the next thing that I want to talk about is if you're a guy doing acting a portfolio. A lot of guys who are starting out need to find their niche, and your agent or your PR or the casting directors will help you along that road to discover what roles you can play. You might know, for example, you might have a thick accent and then you might get EastEnders parts, or you might get Coronation Street parts, or you might have a Scottish accent and you might do like Scottish parts. Anyway, so I was trained by a lot of beautiful, amazing teachers at the Actors Centre Soho in London's Theatreland in the West End. And Nina Finberg, she's legendary. She said to me in her lovely, well-spoken accent, she goes, "Oh, Rachel, when they want a Scottish actor, they'll book a Scottish actor." And so she taught me, I don't think that's how she talks, by the way, but she taught me that I received pronunciation, which is kind of newsreader speaking, because obviously I have a media background, which means I can talk like I'm presenting the news. So, for example, if you look better in character with a mean face, give mean to the camera. If you want a natural look, just staring straight ahead, which is like a vacant pose, then you allow the casting directors or the agents to build a character onto your face. Even guys get that as well. So as a male model or a male actor, you can play it up or play it down, or tone it up or tone it down, or turn up the volume on your facial expression or tone it right down. So for example, if you're a female, you, like me, play upbeat, positive, happy Barbie character, and that's who I am naturally as a real life Barbie. When I get serious, I find it ages me and it's not good. It's horrible. It's like, oh, who's that? So when I'm serious or tired, I shut myself away and I don't like to go and see people. And I don't film if I'm not in like a good mood. If I'm too tired, I'm like, oh my God, I can't put this face on camera. You play a certain character, put that in front of the camera, play that role. Okay, so we've done headshots. If you're a female doing a headshot, obviously, like I said, wear something plain and just give a kind of straight on look to camera, and then side profile pictures with not too much of an expression, maybe just a slight smile. But my pictures are on the Internet Movie Database, and I used to be on the agency books of Source Models and Sandra Reynolds. And I worked with an agent called Mark Summers, and I did loads of background artist work as well. I was getting my equity card. I think I did 3 or 4 background roles, but mainly I was a featured artist. So a featured artist is the character. So I got bookings of the glamorous gangster's mole, the glamorous single mum, or the struggling single mum when my hair was bleached blonde short, or I played the role of an Essex girl in a white boots and white skirt in a video called Gordon Haskell, where I had to pretend I'm in front of the X Factor judges and I did like a twirl. So there was no speaking role there. Then I think I did background on EastEnders once, and you could see me in the background, but you know what, I didn't even tell people about that. But so because I'm not a background artist, I'm an actor. Even Brad Pitt, before he started in Hollywood, did background work. You kind of learn camera angles and you can see what's going on. So I've done loads and loads of featured artist work. That's how I got my equity card. And I appeared in the Manic Street Preachers video, and Mark Summers got me that gig because I had short bleached blonde hair, I was very skinny, and I had to wear a suit and carry a phone. And I did about 8 wipes in front of the camera where you can see it's me with different outfits on. Oh no, I had the suit on. And then the director, Barry Wassenberg, said, can someone push the singer on the chorus by the grace of God? And I went, I'll do it. So again, the reason why you can do featured artist or background artist work where you can see it's clearly you walking behind the lead singer or the drummer is because you get to see how the production crew, the lighting, the being on set, how it all works. And every actor at some point does that. Anyway, so when I was on set at South Bank, featured in the Manic Street Preachers There by the Grace of God music video, I had to wait for I can't sing it, there by the grace of God, there by the grace of God, and we will suffer. And I had to push him within a few seconds on the suffer and catch him like that. And Barry Wassenberg, the director, made me do it a few times because obviously I'm very skinny. I'm like only 7.5 stone back then. I'm 52 kilos. I'm actually 51.7 kilos now. And back then I wasn't very strong because I didn't even really do the gym. I was just like a long leggy model, tomboy. And I think it might have been before I had my boob job. So directors will, even when you're on set as a featured artist or background artist, they'll pick you out to do stuff if you are right. Because there was so many people there that day. Why did he pick me? Because I suited it. So you can be a featured artist or background artist and really kind of upgrade when you're on the set, as long as you know what you're doing. And I did. So I took really good direction from the director, Barry Wassenberg, and we nailed it on the 3rd take. I had to push him. And after he said, cut, the singer looked at me because I think I might have accidentally hurt his shoulder. Anyway, we're all covered by equity. It doesn't matter. There was nothing there, but the director told me push harder because I had to physically move him. He's there by the grace of God and we will suffer. And he went like this. So for the listeners, I just moved and posed and showed you me rotating my shoulders. Anyway, check out the video, the Manic Street Preachers There by the grace of God. You'll see me. I'm the blonde walking across doing camera wipes and then with a phone, and then I pushed him on the chorus. It was fun. So as an actor, enjoy doing featured artist work. You can do a little bit of background, but it kind of doesn't really count if you're an actor. You don't look at it that way. And as you're getting your equity card, you've got to know what kind of roles you want to do, because that's how you get your experience. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about model posing and tips is if you are a character model. I touched upon this earlier. If you're a character model and you are being yourself and you're paid to be yourself, then just present that in front of the camera. That's it, nice and easy. If you're a lookalike, obviously you want to do photo shoots where you're completely turned up, 500% volume in front of the camera, and it might be a short appearance, but you've got to nail it. You really have to bring it. So when you're doing your photo shoot, promotion pictures, always, I would advise you to take video footage, which is what I do. So say I was doing my recent photo shoot with Paul White in the studio. I lay down on the chaise longue. I can't pronounce that word. And because my hair, I didn't have a stylist to do my hair. It looked messy. It doesn't matter. But I use my legs as the focal point, not my face. And then I wore my pink skim swimwear. Then I wore red lingerie, and then a Christmas outfit. So he edited one picture at the end of the shoot, and it was with a Christmas hat on. So you guys can see that on my Instagram. And he cropped the picture from the knee, because that's what you do when you're doing like a lingerie. They like to crop you from the knee. But I love my pink shoes. I don't know if they're a 10 or a 12 centimeter heel platform. My God, my feet, I couldn't walk in them. I just posed in them. Yeah. And that's another thing. So yes, that's about posing and turning up the volume so that on the face, or turn the volume down on the face if you're using body shots as the main focus for that shot. So there was so many. I'm going to do another podcast looking at all of my pictures from Paul White's photo shoot, and I'll go through it with you guys to show you what I'm talking about. So hopefully that'll be the next episode. Okay, so the next model and actor tip that I want to give you about posing in front of the camera is preparation. You guys need to prepare for the photo shoot before you turn up, because you might have a 1 hour or 2 hour shoot. It might even be less than that. Do you know what I mean? So some people, especially if you're an up and coming model, you might be struggling, and then you share the shoot with other models. So you might have not a long time in front of the camera. So you've really got to plan your angles. Now, what I'd recommend you guys do, even if you're an established actor or model like myself, or up and coming, look at YouTube, look at model posing tips. So for example, create angles and length. Body shapes do come into it here. So for me, I can only talk about myself. I'm long and leggy. I've got a long lower leg. Because what happens is when you're a model, you've got to give your measurements. And this is how I learned about my body shape. I've got a long torso, which is suitable for being like a Victoria's Secret model. I've got perky, high, small glutes, like the Barbie doll classic, stereotypical Barbie. I know it's fashionable to have big glutes. It's not my body shape. I'm not bottom heavy or top heavy. I'm in proportion. So I work with my own bone structure. And so what happens is, if you are in front of the camera, and you must learn the model posing tips, no matter what body shape you are. So I do the arms triangle, the knees triangle, the legs forward. And I will talk about this, but I'll do a full podcast in the next episode on how I create these poses, because everything is calculated within literally a millimeter. I'm not joking, guys. So when I position my foot to get the long leg shot, there's a position that I do, and the camera angle has to be not centered. It's got to be a bit to the left or to the right to get that kind of side long leggy look. And then obviously if you're sitting down, you have to look at your bum. You've got to put half your bum cheek off the chair. Now this is advanced model and acting posing tips for you guys, but I promise you, if you even sort of look like you're sitting down but you don't sit down, and there's an art to it, I do that as well. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, and then Paul will take the shot just before I sit down. So it just looks like I'm sitting down, but my glutes are not squashed and my legs are not wide. When you sit down, your legs spread, don't they, and your bum, and it looks flat. You want to, so use the chair to kind of position your body so it doesn't look squishy, squashy or flat, because the point is create angles. Arms over your head, create triangles with your arms, lean back, look at your neck posture. So do the giraffe pose where you put your chin out. It looks weird from below angles, but from upwards angles, it's brilliant. It just looks sharp. The jawline looks sharp. And then you don't get that awful double chin that's, all over the social media about looking at your phone. That's the worst thing you can do. I refuse to look at my phone down, because I've got rid of my double chin, having lost weight now. And I hold my phone at like literally eye line level. Model posing tips. Now, another thing is hair and makeup. So if you've got, say, straight hair, you want to ask the question, does it sit too flat on the top of your head? Do you want to create volume or width, or do you want to create height, or do you want it to lie flat and create long lines moving down the body away from the face? Now, if you're aging, the gravity effect is the downward V. So they say don't have long hair if you're over 30. Rubbish. It's all about your poses. So I've got long hair. It's down to my boobs, my bra strap. And if I wave it, it gives more width and it gives more texture. When it's straight, it looks flat. I used to love the straight hair, or, bikini athletes when they're on stage and they do the rear pose from the back, it looks glossy and it just swishes like that. It looks amazing, but you have to know how to wave your hair. So get a thick 30 mil or 32 millimeter barrel for waves like the one I've got. Don't get the tight corkscrew, because that's awful. You'll lose length, because the more curly your hair, the less long it'll be. So you've got to perfect your look and do your hair and makeup, or pay a makeup artist and a hairstylist to do your hair, and just work with what you've got. So for example, you're doing a photo shoot, right? And then you want to all of a sudden go for a completely different hairstyle that you might not suit, and then you're on the photo shoot and it looks nothing like you. So plan your look, your hair and makeup in advance. Maybe test it out weeks in advance at home if you can, or if you've got a makeup artist, you might say, look, I want to wear the rock chick look, I want thick eyeliner, or I want lashes, or I want natural nude lips, or I want a color pop of lips and nude eyes, things like that. Today I've penciled in my eyebrows because they are tattooed on, and I've just put them a little bit more contoured. So hopefully that'll look good on camera. But it took me ages to do that. Anyway, guys, I'm going to show you something that is in a magazine article. So this is the one that I showed you earlier, creating angles, the arm. And when you're leaning, remember, the more difficult the pose, the better the picture. So when I'm on photo shoots, I might have to arch my back, and I've got a very long torso. So I don't have a natural arch because I've got a fitness model, fashion model torso. So the torso of the boobs to the hips and the bum is longer, and that's why I look like I don't have curves. So if you know body shapes, have a look at it and ask am I ectomorph? I think I'm ectomorph. I can't remember because I'm dyslexic. I can't remember names very easily. I'm the long and lean. I'm not the bottom heavy or top heavy. Oh, and that reminds me, body shapes. Work with your body shape. So when I was a bikini athlete and I'm back in training, I'm always a bikini athlete in training. I just have to decide when I'm getting on stage, hopefully next year to 2025. So as a bikini athlete, you do the torso twist pose. They might not do that now because they do the S curve or the X poses. It depends what category you're in, whether you're bikini fitness or well-being. So there was this torso twist pose which looked really weird, but it kind of accentuates your waist and gives you more of a V contour, and then you have a little bit of the glutes peeking out. They don't do that as much now. They do it in the nationals in America, like the NPC, or in the nationals here in the UK. But when you go IFBB Pro, it's different. They do the S curve, which is the side pose, and then they've got front and rear poses as well for the glutes. So for those of you who see me doing rear poses, it's because I'm documenting my glutes as they develop and they get stronger, because I've got a little Barbie bum and perky high glutes, but there's not a lot of it, and I like it that way. You know, like I said, I work with my body shape that I'm blessed with genetically. I've got great DNA. Thank you very much. Anyway, so I just want to talk about having a photo shoot to boost your self-esteem as well. Whoever you are, if you do photo shoots in front of the camera, it can really help with your self-esteem. So say you've had a divorce or a breakup, and you want to make yourself feel good, or you might have a new hairstyle, or you might have a new wardrobe. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Or you might just want to see pictures of yourself because you feel good. You've been in the gym and you've got your body where you want it to be. Or you just want to just have pictures of yourself at home that professionally took. I would always say this: being in front of the camera can boost your self-esteem. Like, I feel so alive when my studio lights go on. I feel alive on camera more than ever. And when I'm on the street, on the train, in the rush hour, I feel dead. I feel literally dead inside. I know that sounds weird, but I've had to learn to tone down the Barbie because I get looked at. And when I go out to London, I've got a grey coat with a hood, and I won't show too much pink. But yesterday I was coming back from a meeting in London. I was on the tube, and me and this lady jumped through the tube door as it was about to close. It goes beep, 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 beep. And then we both looked at each other and laughed because we got on. It wasn't dangerous, so I'd never do that. I always wait anyway. I hate rushing. I'm just not that one. You know, have you ever been in London and you end up walking really quick and you think that looks weird? I've got to stop doing it. That's me. Anyway, so I got on the tube and there was one seat. So I sat down. It was packed, but it wasn't sardine packed. It was just all the seats were taken, and I got on and I got a seat. And then two guys, one was Eastern European, he had blue eyes, blonde hair. He was very cute, probably about 28. And there was a darker looking guy next to him because I remember they stood out because of the way they look, you know, and they were best friends. You could see they were giggling together about something. And when I sat down, they both looked up, and one of them went, Barbie. And the other one went, and he looked at me and he goes, Barbie. And then I realized that because I was being myself and I just smiled at this woman and I was in a happy mood, the Barbie was showing through. This is a lesson for myself, because when I am on the train, I pick up people's energy like an empath, and I hate it. I absolutely don't. Sorry about the word, hate God. So yeah, so when you're out and about on the street, you might have to tone things down. Like, why do celebrities, when they're out on the street, go incognito? Because first of all, especially if they're in London, the weather's so crap. Nobody wants to look at you when you look so tired and you haven't got the right lighting. Mariah Carey, she hates overhead lighting. I can't stand it. I do a Mariah every day. I'm like, where's the light? Why do I look so bad? If you don't have 3-point lighting or studio lights on that erase all the shadows on your face, you're never going to know what you look like. And I say to people, do photo shoots to boost your confidence. But remember this, people can't walk around with lights, LED lights for their Insta socials or TikTok, or 3-point lighting like soft boxes that I'm using today. but people never really get to see how good they look in England. They only get to see the grey sky and all the shadows that are bouncing on your face. That's not how you look. So here's a tip. Before a photo shoot, sit in your car, if you've got a car, look in your mirror, the American accent's coming out, and that's what you look like, and take a picture on your iPhone, because that light's amazing, guys. You've got it in front, side and back, but it's also, don't do it in daylight because that's too golden. It's, you know what I mean, unless it's the 5 o'clock magic hour. But there's enough, even with grey skies, you can still get a lot of light bouncing on your face. So that's really erasing all the shadows off your face. So that brings me to the next point. If you are paying for the photo shoot, make sure that you get your money's worth. So say in advance, you email the photographer and say, this is the lighting I would like. I would like it to be very light to bring out my blonde hair. I don't want body shots, so it doesn't have to be dark. And what background are you going to go for? Is it going to be clean white, or are you going to green screen it? Because you might want to mess around with some backgrounds if you're a content creator, or if you're a family, you might just want a plain background, which is usually white. And then also ask ahead of time, you know, little things about the photo shoots that you feel relaxed when you get there, because some people do find a studio intimidating. I always notice lights. I always go quiet on photo shoots and allow the photographer the peaceful moments, because they don't talk a lot, photographers, by the way. And when I was working with Paul on Sunday in the studio, when we're shooting, we'll have a 5-minute catch up with a tea. I'm going full glam, hair and makeup with my first outfit on. I put my grey coat over it because I don't want to get out at the gas station. Everyone's like, Barbie. I've had that many times. It's great, but yeah, sometimes I don't want that, but I love it when it does happen. So when I'm in the studio, I go very quiet, and then I'll say, Paul, I'm in character, I don't want to chat personally, we'll have a catch up in a minute. And he'll go, yeah, no problem, when you're ready. Because I've learned to work with Paul over a decade. And no, it's not a decade, it's 2016. Can I add up? No, but one day I will. So we did OMG My Barbie Body, and we were doing the doll in the diner photo shoots that I did for my first self-published book. And I remember saying to Paul, it's great that we've got a way of working together, because I need to be quiet in character, because as the Barbie doll evolves, she learns to speak, doesn't she? Look at the movie. It's a real life human Barbie. But in the day when I was doing it, it was doll poses, and it was vacant, and it was just poses without the speech. So I couldn't have animated facial expressions, so I could perfect the doll pose. And that's in my history. It's on Google if you guys are wondering what I'm talking about. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm a human Barbie, Rachel Evans, and I do Margot Robbie Barbie now, because Barbie at the end of the Barbie movie chose to become human. Yay! So I can do a little bit more animation in my photo shoots and, of course, in my videos. So, guys, we are now coming to the end of this podcast. And in the next episode, I will not have this pink fluffy jacket on. And yeah, I will do photo shoot pictures and talk about my recent photo shoot with Paul White, and the tan and the hair and makeup, things like that. So stay tuned for the podcast, because if you're watching this video, there's probably going to be another one that you can binge watch. Yay! So guys, thank you for watching the Parody Podcast Show hosted by me, Rachel Evans, aka the Human Barbie. Yay! And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys. So today's episode is sponsored, thank you, by StickTech. And they are MagSafe adapters, and I'll show you a little bit of a video about how this works. Then you put the metallic circle on your phone, you stick the gluey bit on the holder, you have a metallic circle there,